Is it football season yet? Well, it's getting closer and closer with the announcement of Houston Texans training camp dates. Less than a month away. That's right. Less than a month from this very moment. When you are watching this video, we will be talking about the Houston Texans on the field at Texans training camp. Isn't that great? It's right around the corner, basically. And then once training camp gets going, the next thing you know, it's kickoff week 1 in Indianapolis, and the Texans are beating the Indianapolis Colts to start their defense of the AFC South Championship. Here's some important things to know about training camp, as well as how you can go to the 8 open practices open to the public at Texans training camp. I'm not going to gatekeep the information. I'll tell you right now, if you're a season ticket holder, you already have the opportunity to register for the free tickets to that open practice. If you're not a season ticket holder, you got to wait a couple of days, but Ticketmaster.com is where you're going to be able to find that. I got the information in the description down below. 8 open practices. They get started in the second week of training camp. The 17th is the reporting date for the Texans. The 18th is when they're going to get on the field. And then you'll see here on the screen, here are the open practices for the team. So the 23rd, 24th, 26th, 27th, and 29th of July, all of that pops up before the Texans go on the road for their first preseason game. Now, of course, they start preseason workouts and training camp before everybody else except for the Chicago Bears because they're playing the Bears in the Hall of Fame game, the game that happens a few days before the Hall of Fame induction. So the team will be in Canton, Ohio. They'll play the Chicago Bears for their first preseason game, and then they're hanging out in Canton for a couple of more days to watch Andre Johnson go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Andre, the first Texan to go in the Hall of Fame, a special moment for him, an incredible moment for the organization, the team going to be there to support Andre Johnson. Of course, D'Amico Ryans played with Andre Johnson on the Texans when the two were teammates back in the day, and Andre, a legendary figure in the history of this team. He always has been, and he always will be. So it'll be cool to see him get the gold jacket and the Texans in attendance to watch that. Now you're thinking to yourself, all right, Canton, Ohio, Andre, party a little bit, hang out, head back to Houston. Not so fast, my friend. They'll be in Cleveland's greater area for a couple of more days after the Hall of Fame game and the Hall of Fame induction, because preseason game number 2, it's in Pittsburgh. Cleveland not that far away. They're going to hang out and practice in the greater Cleveland area for a couple of days. I'll be there bringing you all the observations, video, and things like that here on YouTube. So subscribe so you don't miss that, as well as Houston football, where I do all my writing about the Houston Texans, including the 11 observations from every training camp practice. Just 8 of them available for the public to watch, but I'm available to watch them all as a member of the media, and I love to talk about training camp. I love to deep dive into the stories of training camp, and I'll bring you all the coverage that I can from training camp, including that visit to Ohio for a few days before they head off for preseason game number 2 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then it's actually back to Houston. They'll hang out for a couple of days after that Steelers matchup, and then the next open practice to the public, this is a fun one. A scrimmage-esque open practice is typically what happens when the Texans practice at night. A year ago, D'Amico Ryans talked about how they treated that nighttime practice in training camp as almost a game day. Come in, get your work in, and that nighttime practice could be a scrimmage-esque type practice. So if you can only go to one of the open practices, I would try to get to that one, that nighttime Sunday night scrimmage-ish practice for the Texans. That's the lone open practice ahead of preseason game number 3 when the Giants come to town. But after the Giants are out of here, a couple of more opportunities for you to see the Texans. One, just your typical open practice. The other one, a really, really fun one. The LA Rams in town for the final preseason game. They'll have a joint practice with the Houston Texans on August 22nd. You don't want to miss that one as well. That'd be number 2 on my list of the open practices to attend if I was a fan. Of course, I told you earlier, but the information on how you can register to get potentially those free tickets is in the description of this video. Then it is the final preseason matchup against the Rams, and then before you know it, That roster will go from 90 players to 53 players plus the practice squad, and it'll be time for kickoff for the 2024 season. Training camp is right around the corner. I'm excited to be at every training camp practice, bring you all of that coverage right here on YouTube. I appreciate all of your fantastic support here on the channel. It makes it possible for me to go to every practice, including those ones in the greater Cleveland area, and bring you everything about this team here in 2024. It's going to be a fantastic season. It's going to be so much fun, and the build to 2024 begins when training camp gets started in less than a month. It's right around the corner. It is right there. I'm pumped. I hope you're excited as well. Hope you found this video informative about some of the information about training camp, and good luck on getting those free training camp tickets to the open practices. Again, that information in the description down below so you can find it. Appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Can't wait till we talk Texans again soon.